today we'll be talking about the Nikon F3. First of all, I want to have some coffee to talk with this thing. So Nikon F3 on 2020. Is it worth it? Or no? Or yes? Or no? Let's talk about this baby right now. This review is not everything you want to know about F3. It's about appreciation on F3. Say it again. It's all about appreciation on this very beautiful camera. What's with this camera? Actually, I really love this thing. It's been a very go-to camera whenever I travel everywhere. It's like I'll be traveling out of town. I have my other digital, but this one is always in my bag. Even in my sometimes a wedding shoot or pictorial shoot, I still have this because sometimes I really want to take like 2 or 3 photos of the film using this baby. Yeah, using this baby. So the good thing about this camera is this F3 is very, it's very brick light looking. It's very heavy, and heavy for me is a good thing in terms of camera. It's not too bulky like when you're using the D3 or the D4, D5. It really fits in my hand like this, And you say they want a grip on here, but no, it's very grippy. And the sound, it's always some music. F3 has a 2000 shutter speed. I'm not seeing of it. Who wants to have a 4000? Some people have 4000 for using lower or higher aperture speed for them to have, but for me it's 2000 is enough. I just set my shutter, the aperture in smaller setting, so you can have those 2000, not too much of the bokeh, but yeah, I really love bokeh. What I love on this F3 is the battery seems don't die. The battery here is, I just put it on like 2 years ago and still runs. Like it want to run, it want to click, it want to click more and more, and shoot more, shoot like it really wants to shoot it. The sound I really want to hear always. The mirrorless today is quiet, yeah. The shutter's very quiet. Yeah. So one thing good about also in this F3, you have the pleasure of cleaning this thing. As you see, it can be removed, the lens can be removed, even the focusing screen, it's it's really nice to be removed that way. And that's it. You can remove also the back, but nonsense because I don't have any spare back like we say digital back. But it's the date back, data back. Compared to other cameras, other film cameras like f2, f3 is a little bit, what you call that, little bit light. It's lighter than f2. You see, I have a f2 here, and f3 is, they're the same, almost the same size. The difference is their finder. F2 has a bigger finder. Actually, the F3 is very electronic. The shutter is electronic, but you can also put it on mechanical. Yeah. See, that's the mechanical speed. I think it's on 60. You can do that. Actually, when you dry out the battery, you can always click the mechanical shutter of F3. The servicing of this F3, I think they say when the F3 breaks down, it breaks down. It's take a lot of effort to service this thing because of the availability of the parts. Say it's 1980 era of camera, but mine still worked like a horse, still kicking, still working, still want to click, 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 and click. There's a really beauty on this thing that people or the users can't define why it's so beautiful. I think the handling is very different. It's very not too heavy, not too light. It's just the right thing that fits on your hand. The weight. It's really, I really love the weight. The lens is 135 mm 3.5 and it's not heavy. So let's take a look on this thing close up. So here's your shutter dial, the shutter crank. You click the aperture dial. The ISO dial is here. There. That's the aperture dial. Just put this up and twist on like that. Compared to DF, the F3 is much smaller in size. Yeah, on weight, DF is lighter, small, feels like a plastic version of the film camera. It's taller, the DF is taller than F3. Yeah, it's in my hand, this one is really thin. It really feels a brick, like a sharpening stone or a whetstone. The feeling when you're using this F3, the shutter crank, it's very solid. I want you to feel this baby, that when you're cranking this thing, it's so solid. There's no squish thing or the cranky thing that it's moved. It's moved like that. It's forwards and it clicks and clicks and clicks, and the focusing. Then the Nikon lenses are very smooth. Yeah, if you maintain this thing like you do the good maintenance, it really serves you well. So winding this thing is all manual rewinding. It's not like the F4 that he do the winding automatically. And this one is manual. Loading a film, you have to press. I'll do is press this thing up. This is his lock. There's a lock here, and then you can press it up like that. The one thing that is beautiful on this F3, the viewfinder of this baby is the same size of my DF. So they have the same size. Look at that. So isn't it good that you have same size of viewfinder using your Pro Body camera, like the 800, the D3. Yeah, I love that D3. There it is. You can interchange it. Amazing. Compared to F2, the F3 is a little bit heavy. F2 has a 28mm 3.5 lens. It's very light compared to this 135, but when you're holding this, F2 is a brick with a metal on it. This F3 is a brick that is a brick stone, and this one has a metal on it. It's very heavy. So they upgraded the F2 with F3 with this kind of grip, and the new designer, his name was Georgelicious. I don't know the name of the guy. Giorgianino. I don't know. He's an Italian designer. I think he designed cars. You see, sports car, and when you're holding the F3, it feels like you're holding a beautifully crafted, beautifully designed sports car of all time. You have this classic sports car in your hand, designed by famous guy in the classic car industry, and he's serving Nikon for decades. He's designing a lot of camera for them. Amazing, isn't it? Or yeah. So the other thing in F3, this little red thing here. So this little red thing here, this is the button for making lights, for turning on the light in metering. So when you're using your F3 for metering, that sometimes I don't usually do. I use light meter in here. Why? Because I just don't know. I don't know if the meter is right or the meter is wrong. But it's a good thing you have this meter here. So you have also an aperture priority. So that's the aperture priority. Yeah, it gives the auto mode for you. So another comparing is on FA. So the F3 is much bigger than FA. It's longer here. Yeah, the FA. And FA is lighter than F3. You're holding an FA, you're holding like you're holding a plastic. And you afraid, you do not want to, when you're holding an FA compared to F3, it's like you don't want to drop this thing. This one, if you drop it, you broke the lens, but I think the body itself won't broke down, won't go down on you easily. It's a brick. It's beautiful. It's really heavy. So let's take a look. In F3, you can have a closer look at this baby. So that's it. That's the F3, and right now I'll be showing you the photos I have made using this camera. And one of my favorite roll is the photos of my wife when she's pregnant and the day she's giving birth on our first baby. And they have to capture stuff. So this is a very special very special camera for me, the Nikon F. This camera right now, you will say that, oh no, wait, I don't want to let this go, don't let this off on my hand. Sometimes don't have a roll on it, and what I do is just using it, feeling it, hearing it, sounds like music, looking through the viewfinder. It's very, very, I relaxing just by looking in this viewfinder and thinking, imagining that you have a film on it. Yeah, amazing. Only there's a joy of using camera. Not, they always say, some people say that it's not in the camera, it's all about who shoots the camera. But in my side, I really love those cameras. It's like I'm collecting sports car, but not sports car, I'm collecting a camera itself. And I want to experience the beauty of handling those things, the pleasure, the luxury of looking on its viewfinder and cranking the crank, clicking it, hearing those sounds, the shutter sound. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's very relaxing. It's very therapeutic. Yeah, therapeutic. If you are very stressed, get some camera and play along with it. That doesn't matter if you're a good shooter or not. What really matters is you love shooting and you love those photographs. That's all I can say. Yeah. I just remember my first camera. And this is not the first camera I had. I'm remembering it now. You love this. The odd things today is this camera, in my time that I had it, it's just like, I think it's $45. Yeah, it's very cheap. The body only. It's $45 for the body. And if you guys love my review about camera, please hit the like button, and maybe I could have some review again and show you how beautiful the camera is. Beautiful for a hipster, for some hipster like us.